About an hour and some change ago, we had the first ever White House Crypto Summit. Now we're going to be hearing in the next 15 minutes from the president, Donald Trump. Now, I say that, of course, we know when it comes to Donald Trump in press conferences, rarely is he on time. It is one of his many flaws we have found when trying to cover him live. But the goal and the thought of today's stream is that we are going to listen to Donald Trump live, break down some key thoughts about what has gone on in that summit. It's going to be a very volatile time over the next hour and some change, so stay with us. If he does not come on right at 3, we will continue on. We have a lot of other things to talk about, some charts to look at as Bitcoin has continued to be confusing. The crypto markets and the stock market have all been very confusing. What does this mean as we wrap up this week? Stick around throughout the entire show to find out more about that. But make sure right now, if you enjoy the Investing Bros and you're excited about the news coming out, smash that like button and hit subscribe. But first, we got to roll an intro. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Investing Bros live show. It is not 3 o'clock yet. It's 2:45. But of course, Trump is supposed to be live at 3. So we thought going live 15 minutes early was the right call so we can start setting the stage for what's happening. But really quickly, got to introduce this guy standing to my left right here. It's my right, I think, actually. But, whatever. Smay, how you doing today, my friend?
Oh man, Tim, I'm doing absolutely fantastic. I am pleased to be here. I am pleased to share this lovely Friday afternoon with the bros, and I'm excited to hear what is new from Donald J. Trump on the topic of crypto.
Well, we're all excited. We're all excited to hear about that. While we are live right here, let's go ahead and go to my screen. People say dumping. We're falling. We're dipping. Here on the hourly chart you're watching, we have fallen back below 88,000. We're kind of flirting with that 87.5 range. But on the hourly chart, if you guys missed yesterday, some of you guys left the show. We did a live trade once again at the end of the show, ended up working out very, very beautifully. What is going on right now, though? The volatility has continued. We are pulling back right here. I'm not necessarily too surprised by this movement. When you look at the Luxago oscillator, we recently got a 5-minute, actually, I think we got a 1-minute sell signal. Was it 10-minute? Let's take a look here real quickly. The 10-minute for sure is selling off, but there's no smart trail down below. And then I believe we're also going to see a 1-minute sell signal here as well. Yes, but guess what? That 1 minute is getting overextended already. It does look like we are targeting and hitting that 5-minute smart trail. Now, right at the moment, we're dropping a little bit below. And the reality is we could drop here a little further back down in case you guys are wondering. We're going to have some support levels coming in back here, back down on 86.7 as well. Of course, a lot of this, though, is the markets just reacting to the news of the day, which nobody really knows what is going on at the moment. And for that, we'll come back to the charts here in a little bit. We'll find out a lot more after Trump is live. Someone's saying my audio is not synced, or is this just...
I think you had a little blip. I think it was a little blip.
Blips happen.
People are catching up. So
blips happen. Let's take a look at some news that's going on here today. What you guys need to know about. The first thing that I will say, it's not necessarily bearish, but it's not necessarily something that I love here. Going back to my screen, the fear and greed index on Bitcoin ticking back up into fear. Now, you might say, Tim, we're still in fear, and that's good. That's where it still is a good thing that we're in fear, but we're out of extreme fear, despite the fact that Bitcoin didn't really, go into any new highs. You will see when going back to the hourly chart. Let's turn off Luxago here for a second and take a look at what's going on. This came last night right here at 7. Right here, 7 o'clock last night. We were up almost to 90,000. We printed 34 in fear, and then literally over the next hour after printing this fear and greed index, come on, why does it keep doing ads every time? You will see that we dropped all the way back down to 84,600. We told you guys last night we had a short we set up on the live show. We were targeting 86.2, give or take. And sure enough, that got hit. But now we rallied right back up on the news. What was the news that did this? Oh, yeah, it was the news that Donald Trump announced officially that we have a Bitcoin strategic reserve using the actual money that America already has in Bitcoin. This made some people upset, though. The reason we sold off, I made a video about it last night. You guys can go watch it. But the reason they were so upset is because it looked like at first what Trump was saying is that we were not going to buy new Bitcoin. Well, that's not what was said. It just said that we cannot guarantee buying a new Bitcoin until we have some legislation from Congress. But for now, it caused a little bit of a crash. We rallied back up today, getting back up over 90,000. And of course, right now, as we're waiting in anticipation of what Trump says next, we're dipping back down. But like I said, that 5-minute smart chair, like I just showed you, at the moment is holding up as some support. Let's keep going on with the news, though, because it gets back and forth between being bullish and bearish. This morning, non-farm payrolls came out higher than last month, lower than consensus, about what the forecast was. But the big news is the unemployment rate numbers coming in at 4.1%. Of course, this is a big deal because the expectation was that it would stay at 4. Now, it's not massively over, but this technically is above expectation and should, keyword here, should put pressure on the Fed to want to cut rates sooner rather than later. All right. Temporarily today, when you looked at non-farm payrolls, I'm going to show you this again in a couple of minutes, we actually saw a high probability that by June, we would see at least one rate cut. In fact, in June, it had this morning a 90% probability of one rate cut by that date. That has changed, though, due to a couple of tweets that have come out. The first one looking very good. This is actually very bullish from Fed Bowman. He spoke first before any other Fed speaker spoke. He said, although the FOMC has been focused on lowering inflation the past few years, as we continue to make progress on approaching our 2% target, I expect that the labor market and economic activity will become a larger factor in the FOMC's policy discussions. This is very bullish. This is actually very good. He's responding to this unemployment. He's saying, you know what, guys? In the past, we really focused on inflation. But now moving forward, we're probably looking at the unemployment numbers and the economy overall as the greater decision maker in what way we're going to go with interest rates, right? That's the reason why earlier today we saw a 90% probability from CME Futures Tool saying that we would see a rate cut by June. However, we can't always have our cake and eat. Just I think about an hour later, Kugler came out. This is coming from Zero Hedge. He said appropriate to hold policy rates steady for some time. Now, this is neutral, right? What is some time? Is sometime just in March? Is sometime in, I think, May as well? Is June good enough? What does sometime mean? But he did come out and kind of a little bit pour some water on the fire that we had started over here with Bowman. And then the big man himself, Jerome Powell, came out here around 12:30 saying the Fed doesn't need to hurry. We can wait for greater clarity. Expecting the path to 2% inflation will continue to be bumpy. So nothing necessarily definitive for sure happening. But while some Fed members are seeming to be more bullish on the concept of cutting rates, others like Kruger and Powell are saying, hey, let's not be so fast. We might be able to hold out a little while longer. Of course, all these things can change. We had a long time between now and the end of the year. Nobody right now is predicting a rate cut in March. If you go back to my screen here, we're going to start looking at the FedWatch Tool, Smay. 97% saying March is going to stay paused, right? So not necessarily a huge deal there. When you move into May, all right, so we'll take a break in April. We'll come back in May. A 66.4% chance that we'll stay paused. Can you move my face from this one real quick, Smay, and then we'll come back up after we're off this chart. But I want people to be able to see what's on here. 66.4% are saying we're going to stay paused. Of course, it's increasing. 32.7 says a 25 basis point cut, and just about 1% saying 50 basis point cut. Not a lot, but something. This is the one we're watching right now, right? So earlier this morning, this got down to 10% probability that we would stay paused, and everything else shifted. It was a 60% chance of 25 basis points, and I think these stayed kind of similar. 23% chance of 50, and just a little bit less than 1% of a 75 basis point cut. Either way, it is still looking like the expectation is for rate cuts to come in June. But this number's been bouncing back and forth, back and forth. We're going to have to continue to monitor this. Why are we monitoring this? Because when you watch price action of Bitcoin and the stock market and other cryptocurrencies, the more we feel likely to lower interest rates this year, we'll start to rally. the more we feel that we might stay paused for longer, the more we would probably fall in price if nothing else is affecting the price. So that's something you guys need to be aware of. But let's focus on a couple of other things to be aware of. Let's get back into the bullish side of the news. Just in from Watcher.guru, China and Middle Eastern countries are considering a Bitcoin buying strategy, according to CNBC. This is actually very big. This is something that we predicted would happen as a ripple effect once the United States took a stand to decide to have a Bitcoin reserve. And you might say last night's announcement from Donald Trump was underwhelming, a nothing burger. But I told you in the video I shot last night, our emergency update, this is simply step one for the United States and also step one for the rest of the world. We now in America have the largest strategic reserve of Bitcoin anywhere. And I would not be surprised to see several countries and guess what? States soon after follow suit. And who knows? We might actually also see something happen with a decision on how to buy more Bitcoin. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. We have 5 minutes till Trump supposedly is supposed to come up. So let's get through the rest of the news here. Another big news on the stock market front. Watcher Guru is reporting that NASDAQ is now to offer 24-hour trading on its stock exchange. Guess what's going to have to be involved with that, though, guys? We'll probably need some form of blockchain technology, maybe an Oracle, maybe something like Chainlink. And that's just my little rumor on there. So take that and do with it what you want. But this is big news for the stock market. And again, by de facto, I don't see this operating well without the adoption of real-world asset tokenomics. You need blockchain for that. I think Chainlink would be a beautiful, beautiful option to go with. Anyway, let's keep going on. Here's probably the biggest reason, though, and this is going to kind of set up as we get into hearing Trump's press conference and breaking down what this first ever White House crypto summit will mean. There was bullishness last night after the crash that there was rumors that we would have capital gains maybe removed in the conversation today. Well, the little bit of cold water on that front as well, breaking from Kobesi letter. This is a couple of hours ago, 10:30 a.m. No capital gains tax exemptions are expected to be announced at the White House Crypto Summit. I also saw recently on X within the last like 20, 30 minutes, I think that we saw a report from Bloomberg as well. Of course, a lot of people read Bloomberg. So if you're wondering what's this recent dip happening over the last 30 minutes or so, I do believe a Bloomberg article went out kind of confirming, hey guys, no capital gains talk today. So you can go ahead and remove that from your expectations. That being said, we don't officially really know what is going to come out of this meeting. I'm very intrigued to find out what Trump says here in the next couple of minutes as we are watching, again, a little bit of bounce back from that 5-minute smart trail from Luxalgo. It's looking like a good level of support. Will we sustain a longer-term move? I asked you guys in a poll in chat. Make sure you vote on it. We got 1,500 people watching, 900 votes. How will Bitcoin close today? Will it close? How many of you guys think we can get over 100K, right? If we go back to larger time frames, can we get into that bullish case? Let's go ahead, 4-hour chart. We got to go way out here. Can we get back to being bullish and get above 100K? Is something going to come out here from Donald Trump or something later about news that comes out in this meeting going to skyrocket Bitcoin's price? 19% of you are saying that's the case. Guys, I'll be honest with you. I don't think that's going to happen. I would love for it to happen, but I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen. However, 27 of you believe you're going to be somewhere between $90,000 and $100,000. So you're still believing in a bullish push, just maybe not crazy fireworks and God candles sending us back over 100,000. Majority of you right now are saying 80 to 90%. That's about 36% of you, or $80,000 to $90,000, excuse me. I think that's a very realistic target. That's the range we've kind of been trading in for the last couple of days. Staying above 80, we peak our heads above 90, but for the most part, we keep getting rejected in that camp. And then I asked how many of you think below 80%. That's about 18% of you. So I'm going to agree that the middle pack is probably right. I think I myself am going to put myself in the camp of $80,000 to $90,000. I don't think that what's going to come out here in the next couple of minutes from Trump is going to be bearish and it's going to crush the markets. I just think that we know a whole lot about what the plan is. And until we get some more news coming out, there's not a reason to go to the upside. In which case, a lot of you retail investors are going to say, Tim, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of just drugging on this low numbers. I'm telling you, as long as retail is showing interest in still trying to buy the dips in heavy margin, that is going to keep us from going to new all-time highs. The minute that we feel like the retail has checked out mentally, and again, a nothing burger today could do that. The minute that retail mentally checks out, that will be when the whales and institutions decide, all right, that's good enough. Let's go ahead and skyrocket back to the upside. But as long as we keep our hopes up, I wish I could tell you something better. The chances of ranging between 80 and 90 could very well be our situation we have moving forward. Let me know in chat what you guys think about that. I'm going to engage with chat here for a little bit. Going off my screen, it is 3 o'clock. So literally any minute now, Donald Trump could be walking out to give his press conference, or maybe, I don't know, maybe he's sitting at his seat in the Oval Office. I'm not 100% certain where he will be. Smay, I'm going to bring you up here for a second. Did you see any chat that you found interesting? And also, any signs of Trump coming out anytime soon?
No signs of Trump. In fact, the Fox stream that I was watching updated their title from Live Soon, Trump cryptocurrency event, to Live Soon, Trump to sign more orders in Oval Office, Trump cryptocurrency event. So already sounds like they're starting to start to change it up on us again.
Yeah. Well, if we know one thing about Trump is the man operates at least 20 minutes behind schedule. I will say, I think there's been a couple press conferences. I think last night he was on time for his press conference. But we will be live definitely through 4 o'clock. If he goes live before then, we will stay live with him for at least for some time. But in case he does not, we will definitely go through, answer some of your guys' questions, engage with chat, take a look at charts. But right now, this is the ugly truth that we're in right now. I am still overwhelmingly long-term bullish. Short-term, it's really going to come down to what is the information that comes out here. There are cases on the charts to go to the upside. There are cases on the charts to go to the downside. If you go back to my screen here, Smay, I told you guys about this. We've been looking throughout this show on shorter time frames. What you should know if you're long-term bullish is we do have, as we told you the last couple of days, a daily buy signal. The first daily buy signal we have seen since all the way back here, guess when? September of 2024, right? So we haven't had a daily buy signal since September. If you go back to September, that actually was another bottom event. Excuse me, let's go back here. That was the bottom event of last summer. We, of course, would take off a couple months later. Trump would be elected president. We'd shoot to the upside. So that's a very good sign to have that green reversal, bullish momentum, positive money flow for the first time on Bitcoin since September. Also good news, the 2-daily chart is flashing buy signal as well. We have bullish divergence giving us the reversal signal, bullish momentum, and take a look at that. It's very slim, but that money flow is heading back in the right direction. What does this mean? It means Bitcoin's price should, keyword should, in the next couple of weeks, make its way back up here towards 97, maybe even back up over $100,000. If we can get a really bullish push, we might even head back up towards the next resistance level up here around 107, 108K. But for now, this is a chart that I'm showing you, these daily and 2-daily charts. This doesn't mean these buy signals that tomorrow we hit these targets. I like to tell people when I'm charting, I kind of have a 12 to 24 candle rule that you can see a buy or sell signal, and it might still take upwards of 12 candles before you actually see the momentum of that movement. In fact, sometimes you see a buy signal like this and you get a little bit of an upward movement, and then you see what I call a manipulation move where we come down once more just to kind of shake out retail investors, and then we head to the upside. It's a very, very, very common movement that we have seen on Bitcoin, both longer time frames and shorter time frames. So what does that mean? It means be bullish, buy the dips. It very much looks like from a news perspective and a charts perspective that Bitcoin is going to be hitting new all-time highs in the year 2025. The question is that next week? Is that next month? Is that in the summer? Is that in the fall? That's where we have to continue to wait and find out what is happening with Bitcoin. But that's what I have on the charts for now. Let's go ahead and engage. Go off my screen here. Let's engage with the chat and see what questions they are asking. Redline says, not getting anything till it's over at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time after they all hash out details of regulation. I don't know what else there is. So Trump didn't already spill the beans. Regulation proposals for Congress. It's true. It is kind of funny that they made the announcement of his press conference at 3 o'clock because they also announced that this whole summit was starting at 1:30 and was supposed to run all the way until 5:30. And yet Trump, who's supposed to be in that meeting, is going to be signing executive orders. He's going to be taking a press conference again, supposedly at 3 o'clock. He's already late for that, but he was supposed to be doing that at 3 o'clock to answer some questions. There's a chance maybe he has a little bit of information for us here in a couple of minutes, and then the rest of it does come out later at 5:30. But yes, it is a very confusing time, and we're just all here in the retail space sitting on the edge of our seats waiting. What is next? The minute you get your hopes up, they let your hopes down. But the minute you think nothing's going to happen and you convince yourself that an event's a nothing burger, they always have a way of coming out with something special. It might not be the capital gains tax information, the thing we were kind of holding on to last night, but there's always a chance something comes out of left field. Guess who's attending this meeting, as we told you guys last night? Only 2 coin representatives are attending this meeting, and one of them is from Chainlink. Chainlink has not necessarily been talked about by Trump just yet. Chainlink was not listed in any of those tweets he put out about potential coins going into a strategic reserve, and yet it is a coin that I think has the potential of being on there. And the fact that they're only one of only 2 coins represented at this meeting, them and XRP, that bodes very, very well for Chainlink. Don't be surprised if that could be a surprising story. But who knows? Who knows what we're going to get here? You do have to wait for it to come out of the camel's mouth himself. I don't know if that's the expression, but we're going to go with it here. QT needs to end. Then we will really start moving. True, Damien. I would say QT ending would be a big bonus as well. Although I would say, again, the 2 things we're looking at, regulatory clarity and quantitative easing, they're both going to be responsible. If we can get both in tandem, right, that's going to just kick us to new all-time highs almost immediately, right? If Jerome Powell had come out today and said, oh, yeah, guys, we're scared about the unemployment levels, we're thinking about potentially cutting rates very soon, and then we saw something come out from this meeting saying they were going to continue to look at American-made cryptos having zero capital gains tax, if that happened today, I would be voting we're going over $100,000, right? That would be monumental for the crypto space. But I think we're striking out on both of those. It sounds like it's confirmed we're not going to hear anything about capital gains tax today, right? Let's not get crazy here. Everybody's going to freak out on that news and say, oh, there we go. They're not going to do it. Bull market's over. Guys, in the same way last night, people got let down because their expectations were in the wrong place about the Bitcoin reserve. Learn to take the wins, learn to take the good stuff, and understand that we can't get it all done at the same time. We're not going to get everything done right this second. The process of the United States becoming the number 1 crypto country in the world and having everything right here, it's going to take a lot of time. And if you want to make money, you need to be patient. The more impatient you are and the more you squirm and get out of every single shakeout move, the more likely it is that you will end up standing on the outside of the circle when crypto takes off to new all-time highs. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just sit on your couch, eat your popcorn, watch the charts, pay attention to the news, buy the dips as much as you can, and wait and be patient. That's what the whales are doing. That's what the institutions are doing. They're willing to wait for their generational wealth. They don't even need the generational wealth. They're just willing to wait for more wealth. The more of us that can do that, the better Bitcoin and crypto will be. But it is very frustrating, very challenging thing to do. Morgan Powell says, go to the gym. That's another thing. Go work on yourself. Go to the gym, get healthy. Go work on your golf swing. Spend more time with family, right? Don't tune out of the markets. Don't stop watching the news and what's happening because, again, just like Sunday morning last week, something can pop and prices take off. But you need to be patient because the reality is, unless something poppy happens, there's no reason for Bitcoin to go back above 100K anytime soon. It's Dr. Phil. All right. While we're waiting on Trump, we'll get into some fun questions here. You guys ask some good questions. Someone did say, how much do you bench, bro? Says it's Dr. Phil. Smay, before I answer, how much do you bench?
All
of it? Do you bench all the weight?
Like 550 pounds. I'm kidding. No, I don't know. I haven't really ever tried to do PR for bench, so I would say I'm not very strong, by the way, guys. In case you were wondering, I'm more of a mentally strong. So I think my working weight is like 135 or something. So
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I haven't done a max bench in a year or so. I did 395 last. Oh, it was a little less a year. It was last summer. So it was like somewhere like July, August. My max all time, 425, but that was back in college, right? In the young whippersnapper days.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine if you put me in front of a bench right now and said, Tim, let's see how heavy you can get. Because I haven't been benching heavy, it's probably going to be down to like 355, 365. I've been working on my golf swing, and sometimes you don't want your pectorals as pumped to get that good cross-body swing. So it's all about the skills you're working on here. But Neil Royce is 370, papas. All right, there we go. All right, let's get out of workout talk. Let's talk crypto, though. You guys came to talk crypto. We're waiting on Trump to talk crypto. What else do you guys have for me here today? Let's check in. Smay, keep your eyes on the charts. Let's check in on some other charts here. Check on the chat, excuse me, and I will watch the charts. Ethereum kind of dipping back down here, staying in this nice little pocket. Let's go to like a 1 hour chart and see how we just been the last couple of days. After making an initial bounce up here, back on the second, back into a very key resistance level here at 2,500. We told you guys before that this would be a very significant zone for Ethereum to get back above, kind of similar to Bitcoin getting back above 95K, and Bitcoin couldn't do it. If you don't know what I'm talking about this move back in here. This is going to be very similar for Ethereum. We need to get back here above 2,600 to remove this former support, turn into resistance level. We failed on that a couple days ago and have not quite gotten back to that point, right? It's kind of spent a lot of time here in the 2,100 to 2,300 zone for Ethereum. Is there anything kind of giving us a sign that a breakout could come soon? Let's go take a look at that daily chart and see what it is saying. And this is one of the ones that is not giving us the buy signal. We're getting bullish divergence. We're getting green reversals. We're getting positive oscillator action, but the money flow just refuses to go bullish. And so for my trade strategy using Lux Algo, I can't quite call that a buy signal yet. Are we getting one, say, on like the 12-hour chart? Yeah, we kind of had one come here on the 12-hour chart with a target. I say that. I don't know. Yeah, we kind of hit it already. I mean, we could bounce back up to that round on 2,400, but that's about it. We really need to start seeing some buy signals come in on longer time frames. And guess what? The daily chart, when we do get a buy signal, is giving us targets up here towards $2,700. But at the moment, Ethereum is missing out on that information. It's kind of bouncing. Like I said, we got a lot of support down here around 2,100, but also a lot of resistance up here in the $2,300 zone. Solana is one of the coins kind of moving bullishly today. It's one of the few coins with a bullish daily candle. Now, again, it's consolidating here too. It bounced off of the zone we talked about here last week. When we dropped below this key support level, we said, hey, Solana really needs to get back up here above 180. Well, guess what? We rejected right in that area, right in that zone back here on the 2nd of March. We've come back down here. Let's check on what we have going on with the daily signal here. It does look like a buy signal coming on the daily chart. I always love to see that bubble pop. I always love to see the excessive sellers come in and then they leave. You have the reversals. You have the bullish momentum. You zoom in there very nicely. The money flow has flowed back above the trend right there. So that is a buy signal on the daily chart, a very good sign for Solana holders. That would probably send us right back up to this zone 180. Can we get a 2 daily buy signal yet? We're very close. Green reversal, bullish momentum, and that money flow, give it another couple of days, and more than likely that money flow goes positive. That would send the price back up here, at least back above 200, back towards 211. If we can get some real good stuff cooking, though, all of a sudden you're looking at resistance levels up above there. And honestly, once you jump that order block and that smart trail at 215, you're looking back at 288 before you see any major resistance on the daily chart and 2 daily chart between it. So a good look there for Solana. Let's check in on a couple others. Chainlink, of course, you guys know. Chainlink is my favorite. I love Chainlink a lot. Bouncing again. We had a nice bounce the other day off that support level. We're wrestling with the key resistance level. Do need to see Chainlink get back above $18 to feel bullish about it once again. However, this is one of the coins that also has that daily buy signal. Green reversal, bullish momentum, positive money flow. Does the 2 daily have it as well? Similar to Solana, almost. It's not quite where Bitcoin is, but we do need to see that money flow go a little bit further north, and we will be good. What does that mean for price action? on Chainlink. That's going to put us right back up to the resistance level of this formation in the world of $22, $23. If we can break above that, all of a sudden we are talking about making a move back up towards 30, and then more decisions will be made about new highs for this cycle and potentially heading towards new all-time highs later on. But if you're looking at, again, buying a lot of these coins, this is a major sign that these recent bottom signals are very, very good buy levels. I don't think that we're going to get a chance to buy Chainlink back at $13.20. Maybe we get some sort of smaller time frame pullback, like a 1 hour chart sell signal. Maybe we kind of had one this morning on Chainlink, or I guess this would actually have been yesterday. We had a sell signal, and it already has kind of canceled out and bounced back up. So not necessarily seeing a major reason for a big crash here. 4 hour, we're on the smart chair right now. What I kind of like to do when I am getting a sell signal from the Luxago oscillator, and yet we're below the red smart trail, I always like to say, okay, well, how would the blue smart trail have moved if it had still been around? And more than likely, we're kind of looking at something like this, kind of corresponding with the take profit level from the signals and overlays. Could we see Link get back down towards $15, $14 if the news that comes out here shortly is not advantageous? Heck yes, we could. So maybe you get another purchase at $14, $15. But that would probably be about it for my take. I think those longer time frame buy signals should not be ignored. You just should understand sometimes you don't just shoot right up to the targets. You have this volatility, and then you take off. I would say $15 and down. That would be a good spot for Chainlink additions. We got some good chat that came in here that Smay selected for us. Let's go back here and read some of this. Brandon Crittenden Dondo. All right.
I think I'll help you out here. It's Brandon Crittenden.
Oh, and then it's just do you think. Okay. Well, that all went together for me right there. So spaces are needed. Do you think that there will be a digital art revolution? Oh, my goodness. I have no idea. ChatGPT certainly sees one coming. If a guy purchases a Monet NFT for $1.8 million, would it hold its value? I'm not an NFT person in general, right? I like the technology. I think the future of what NFTs will be used for, with rental properties, with real estate, with doctors, with contracts, like in the government, really important pieces of information that need to be tracked and kept secret. I think NFTs are great for that. When it comes to the art side of it, I'm not an art guy. So Brandon, I couldn't answer that one for you. That's a hard one. Jonathan Burkle said, wonder if they don't take the money that Doge saves and invest a percentage into Bitcoin. That's a good question. So what he's kind of getting at here, Jonathan, is saying like, hey, could the plan potentially be that the way they're going to buy Bitcoin, instead of using and taking additional taxpayer dollars, they could look at that as being part of the budget of all the money Doge is saving? I think that's an interesting concept. I think we'd have to hear that come out. I still wonder if that would require an act of Congress. I don't know. That's an area I don't know. I definitely know if we're talking about budgeting for next year's taxes or this year's taxes, you're going to have to get Congress to pass that bill to use any of that money. But money that's already been paid and that we're actually getting returned to us, that's a good thought, Jonathan. I don't know how that one would really work. By the way, if you guys are wondering, what are we expected to hear out of this conference? That is a big topic. The two topics I heard people raving the most about from the crypto summit would, number one, be, are we going to hear them talk about capital gains taxes? Well, it turns out that got taken off the list. But the other thing that they said they were going to discuss is, how would we buy future Bitcoin? We know that we can take what currently exists right now that was been confiscated by the U.S. government in different crime situations, but will we potentially buy more in the future? Where would that money come from? That is something they are talking about today, and it sounded like Michael Saylor and a couple others had some creative ideas. Potentially Jonathan Burkle, maybe that is one of them, using some of the Doge money. That could be very cool. Kyla Oosels. These are some great names. Can you check Dogecoin? Can we check Dogecoin? Let's go take a look at what Dogecoin is doing here today. It's another coin along with, let's see, I said Solana was bullish here today. Dogecoin's up as well. In fact, Dogecoin's almost up as much as Solana is, up 1.89%. Now, of course, Doge is pretty far down. It did kick back down here towards 18 cents in the last couple of days for the first time since back in November. But this is a bullish coin. This is a bullish coin long term. I always love, let me turn some noise off here. And we did break out of this, so I got to redraw some lines here. Any coin that has been setting higher highs and higher lows in this bull market, especially a coin that's still higher in price right now than it was the day we found out that Trump would be elected, that's a big, big deal. In fact, we made this mark here a couple of weeks ago. We said, don't be surprised if this dip keeps coming. And we pulled back down to those levels right before and right after Trump was elected. Guess where we bounced? Pretty much right on that high from back on October 30th. For support and resistance levels, I'm going to redraw this time using wicks. I think last time we had some candle bodies that were very interesting, but this time it very much is looking like wicks on the bottom side and then these candle closes and candle wicks on the top side. This is still a falling wedge pattern. It is long-term bullish, but you do want to see a breakout above this red line as your confirmation. If it does happen and we do make a big break to the upside, this formation for Dogecoin would suggest a breakout back up towards 35 cents. Let's take a look also at what's happening with some other indicators. Are we getting a buy signal? Sure enough, we are. Green reversal, bullish divergence, bullish momentum, positive money flow. The bubble from the excessive sellers has popped. These are all very good signs. What target does that give us for Dogecoin? That would put us up here back towards 26 cents, give or take. But with how good of a buy signal that was, I will not be surprised if I see this on the 2-daily as well. Well, it's different on the 2-daily. That's a weird one right there. All right, it just never got very negative whatsoever. But if you look in here, we'll wait a couple of days to give this a confirmation. Technically speaking, if you zoom in, you really zoom in on that microscope, that money flow over the last candle has started to tick back to the upside. That being said, let's wait a couple more days before we are convinced on that front. You will see green momentum and reversal back in here, but that's getting a little old for my take. I think getting another reversal or at least positive money flow would be very important. Larger time frames like the 3-daily chart, I actually love this. It's not bullish yet, but you guys will hear me say the word bubble a lot. This indicator with these excessive sellers coming in, they push price down heavily, but when they leave, a lot of times there can be a big explosion back to the upside. Those targets like the 3-daily chart would give us, guess what? Back up there towards 35, 36 cents. So a little bit of confluence with the falling wedge pattern. Now that could take a month and some change before that happens. Don't expect this to be all something that happens this weekend. But if Doge gets going bullish, if crypto starts going back bullish, we could absolutely see a move back up towards that 35, 36 cents very, very soon. An order block of interest is going to be up at 42, but I like that smart trail. I like the target of the falling wedge pattern. That's going to be very, very interesting right there. All right, let's get back to chat here. Still waiting, everybody. Still waiting for Donald Trump to take the stage. Hopefully it does happen very, very soon. Make sure to smash that like button. Someone says Trump is speaking. Smay, are you seeing anything on that front?
No, fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
So, guys, there's a lot of fake streams out there right now. We've even had some friends fall for some traps here. Don't believe every single thing you put out there. Make sure you're looking at real things. There was a very real temptation. There was a lot of streams claiming that they were going to be able to host this entire not press conference, but the exact summit. And I remember reading somewhere that I didn't think it was being televised live to the audience. So I was like, okay, maybe they changed their mind late. Sure enough, it was an AI. It was a fake stream. So you got to watch out for those. What Smay has is something that's supposed to be real. Now, Crypto AI is also saying Trump's talking. Put the links to what you see Trump is live, but I think that you guys might be finding some old streams. I saw that earlier today. There was another channel that was like NBC something, but they were replaying yesterday's stuff and they were showing it like it was live today. From what we understand, Trump is not live yet. Smay, is that true?
Yeah, well, let me give some context here, ladies and gentlemen. I'll show you on my screen here. What we have here is a stream from MSNBC, the official MSNBC channel, saying live, Trump hosts first ever White House Crypto Summit, still on this page. And it is live. The flags are waving. This is not paused, all right? And then here we have over here another one, live now from Fox. Live soon, Trump to sign more orders in Oval Office, Trump cryptocurrency event. As you can see, it's showing some filler content of some science rally in D.C. So
Yeah.
Basically, there is nothing happening right now. What you may be seeing on some of your live streams is that they were rerunning some of Trump's remarks from earlier in the day when he was
Yes.
talking about stuff. So yeah, this is what we have. So, and if you guys somehow have other streams or whatever, then just send them my way.
Well,
Put
again,
them in the
I
chat.
think
But
that
there's
I think
nothing.
you're hitting it right on the head there, Smay. I think this is just something. Hey guys, in case you didn't know, on the internet, not everything you hear is true and real. We try our very hardest here in Investing Bros to be true and real. We get some things wrong from time to time, but we're also being genuine. But yeah, sometimes on the internet things lie, and sometimes people try to trick you. And in all the recent days, all the different press conferences and things, people know they can make a quick buck and fake people out and create some fake streams, fake things. And by the way, that fake one, that AI, I think I saw like 314,000 people watching it. So they faked a lot of people. But that is not what we're watching happen right now. I see somebody here say they're just tired of all the crypto manipulation. Here's the thing. I'm tired of the crypto manipulation. I've been tired of the crypto manipulation. Crypto manipulation didn't just start. It might have accelerated, right? That's something we knew was going to happen when institutions got involved. The manipulation would get even worse. But manipulation is something that has happened forever, right? The concept of people with power manipulating details to get an advantage above people that maybe don't have any control whatsoever, that's been something that's old as mankind. We have been screwing each other over since the very beginning. That being said, I always tell people, if you don't like manipulation, if you don't like how the whales operate or the institutions operate, you can feel free to kick and scream and cry and sell all of your crypto and sell all of your stocks and walk away and put your cash under your pillow at night. Go for it. I mean, I don't think that strategy is going to work out very well for you, but you are very free to go ahead and do so. But it's not going to help you or anybody else to do it. What I tell people is be more like one of those sucker fish. If you don't like what the whale's doing, you don't have to like it, but attach yourself to the whale, understand how they move, and be patient with them. And in that way, you're able to make money in the long term. You can complain about manipulation, or you can learn how to read it and understand it. And I was thinking about this last night. I grew up in Florida. And in Florida, they tell you, I've never had to use this, luckily, but they tell you if a gator is ever chasing you, you're supposed to zigzag back and forth because gators, I guess, don't turn very well. But they say from time to time, certain gators, not all of them are that smart, but some of them will realize it and they'll just go right down the middle. They'll realize your pattern of zigzagging. So some people say, don't do that. Like, don't try to zigzag away from a gator. Just try to get away. Well, this is a lot like that. Like a lot of times the patterns are going to pump and then dump and then pump and then dump. And in reality, they're just zigzagging, treating you like a gator that doesn't turn very well. If you want to look at my chart here, let me show you the macro perspective of what's happened here in the crypto markets with Bitcoin. If you don't think that people have been skeptical on how Bitcoin has operated for a long time now, then I don't know what you've been watching. This looks like a bullish chart, right? This looks like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. Bitcoin's just going up and forever to the right, okay? Look at all the volatility that has happened. Look at all the chaos that has happened. Even if you look at just the bull market in the last couple of years, look at the pullbacks that have happened where Bitcoin will start to rally and then pull back 20%. Then it'll start to rally and it'll pull back 30%. And then it'll start to rally and it'll pull back, I think this one was 30%. Again, like these 30% pullbacks, pretty stinking normal, all in a bull market. This one most recently, Bitcoin has pulled back again, not quite 30%, but about 28%. But if you look at the middle of it all, Bitcoin might zigzag, but Bitcoin is doing this. And right now, a lot of signs show that that is going to continue to be how we operate. It's just about understanding they're going to be bullish and try to make you buy and sell the tops on you, and they're going to make you bearish and try to get you to sell the bottoms. If you just buy every dip you can get and hold on for the long term, this line is going to the upside. Now, Smay, feel free at any moment to interrupt me if Trump does come out live. Again, people in chat, they could just be trolls, but people are saying that he is live. Anything you're seeing on that end?
No, but I will
Okay.
continue to search just to make people happy.
All right, guys. Yeah, we promise you when he is live, when he is live, we will look at it. But right now, the sources that we know are legitimate, that are real, they will tell us when he's live, right? There's a lot of fakes out there. We promise you when he is live, we will get there. It's very normal for Trump to have a delay, right? That is what happens. It seems every single time this man has a press conference. There's a lot of things to like about Trump. There's a lot of things to dislike about Trump. I would put it in my camp, if you asked me to make a whole list of my likes and dislikes, I'm a guy who I'm very time sensitive. I grew up with a mom who was late to everything. It pissed me off. I love my mom, though. Don't get me wrong. However, when I became an adult, I have just a personal decision. I'm on time to everything. I just respect people's times. Trump doesn't necessarily. I mean, Trump is late. Trump operates like the time doesn't start until he actually arrives, right? That's something I dislike about Trump.
Tim, breaking news. Breaking news. Trump's not live. This is moments ago. Moments ago, ladies and gentlemen. Do not be fooled. He is not live yet. Anyways, Tim, back to you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's one of the reasons why our show, like I do think that we are one of the few shows on the internet that are live at the right time every single day. Every now and then a glitch or a technological problem happens and we end up being a minute or two late. But you guys who have been around for a long time know if the bros are late, something went terribly wrong. And Tim is probably fuming in the background because I like to be on time. Trump, not so much. Wrong again. Put your cojones in the chat. All right, there we go. Get that one going again. Let's read some more chat here. French Toaster said, I heard it's a closed door meeting, no cameras. I could be wrong though. Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I heard too. So I think we're in the same boat there. Nothing necessarily crazy about that. Crypto Freddy said, where's T Shroom, bro? T Shroom is in Tampa with a friend of his celebrating a birthday. So he got a nice, well-deserved weekend off. T Shroom works so very hard. I miss him. I love running the show with him, but he's getting a nice week off. And you know what's cool? This might be a good time. Gosh. Oh, man. Can someone start paying me $1 every single time someone in chat says Trump is live? I'd be a very wealthy person. A good time to announce, some of you guys do not know, I am going to be moving at the end of this month. It should not affect the live shows whatsoever, but we will be moving the Warren clan back down to Tampa where we have family because of another big announcement that our family has and we have not shared with you guys. But again, this is a good time to share it. My wife, Taylor, not Taylor Shrum, not T Shroom, not my business partner. It is kind of weird that I have two very serious business relationships or complicated relationships with people named Taylor. My wife, Taylor, is pregnant with our second child, everybody. And so we decided now that we work from home, I work from home and everything can happen, it's time to move back towards family. I have very much enjoyed being here in North Georgia for the last 2 years of my life, but we're going to be moving back down to Florida. So wish you guys can give a special blessing and message to my wife. I mean, you guys tell me congratulations too, but you know, if you guys know anything about making babies, my job was not that hard. It's her. It's her that has the hard part of it, and she's gonna be giving birth in August down in Florida. If you guys know about the heat in Florida, that is a dream come true, and I'm being facetious right there. That absolutely sucks. Thank you everybody for the congratulations and well wishes. Florida wasn't my choice, but it is where all of family is. So. At a certain point, you got to put your own desires behind you. When you have a wife and one child and the second one on the way, your decision-making becomes what is best for them, not for yourself. I tell you guys that all the time. I love being here. I love doing crypto, but I'm only here for my family. I want to help you guys become wealthy as well, but this whole thing for me is a way to take care of them and make sure I provide for them in the future. So got to put them first, going back down, spend time with family, getting that free babysitting. Being close to family once again is always good. God bless you and your family, Tim. Thank you so much, Andre. All right, more dollars coming my way because they say he's live again, Smay. They say he's live again.
And just like that, I have even more breaking news, Tim. This is so good. They're wrong. Here we have another link from the Associated Press. It says live, and it's not even live. It's actually coming up in 25 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
maybe they have a
Almost.
better scoop of when he's planning to say something. So, guys, come on. Come on. You think we're rookies over here. Anyways, Tim, back to you.
All right, let's check in on Bitcoin once again here and take a look at what's happening over there. You guys know we were monitoring support level on the 5-minute chart. Let's zoom back in here, see what is going on. Have we held that support? Yes. Now we're testing that support with all we have worth. It is, but it's still support there on that 5-minute smart trail. Let's take a look though, as we start getting here, maybe doing some live trade setups. Make sure everybody smash that like button. I'm not going to give a like goal today, but smash that like if you guys are enjoying the show. It's been another drawn out show as we wait for Donald Trump, but it's still good to be here with you. Let's take a look at what's happening on the charts. 5-minute, we're still seeing a potential move to the downside here, actually. That money flow is going negative. A red reversal has come in. The only thing keeping this from being a clear sell signal is the fact that we have some green momentum right there on that bounce. But if we do start to lose that, to the downside, let's see what other time frames are giving us. Nothing on our 10-minute. 15-minute, actually, this is a positive sign right here. The 15-minute looks like a small little bubble is forming. Could we be about to get a move to the upside? This is the markets just saying we have no idea what's about to come. We have no idea if we want to go to the upside or the downside. And the reality is we're sitting dead smack in the middle. Like if you were going to say, like if we were high in price right now, if we were closer to 90K, I would probably tell you guys to expect a nothing burger sell-off, right? If Trump comes out and says nothing new, nothing of significance, we're probably going to sell off, right? But the fact that we're down low, we're kind of in the middle, it kind of is like, well, we priced in a nothing burger. So could the nothing burger really do nothing to price? The minute that retail feels convinced they know the direction of the markets is the time that the markets do the exact opposite of what you expect. But right now, it's a kind of a very neutral thing. Anyone could guess which way we're going. I would say to the downside, something to keep an eye on. Come back down towards 86,100. As you just take a look at liquidations, let's go to a shorter time frame here. There's going to be, it looks like we have some more coming in down lower, but there's just a fat stack of liquidations right there. There's also some down at the wick from last night at 84.4. But what I'm watching is this fat stack of liquidations. And then also, of course, if you zoom out there, that support level that has been in play since the bottom back on February 28th, you can see we're putting in some higher lows here. At the same time, we are definitely putting in lower highs. We kind of have a little bit of a a symmetrical triangle in form right now. But it's still anybody's guess which way we go. Could we make a little flash crash down to this green line and then back up to the upside before we make our final decision? That is the question on everyone's brain. But right now, it is the epitome of boring markets. All right, let's see here. We had a super chat come in. On-Chain Revolution Podcast says, congratulations, Tim. The second one is always easier than the first. I don't know if you're being facetious with me. I've heard the exact opposite. I've heard that everyone thinks they know what they're doing with one, and then the second one happens, and you realize you know nothing about raising children. Then there's the biggest jump when you get to 3 children. Again, I don't have 3 children. I've just heard that when you have to switch from a man-to-man defense to playing zone, that's when things really get complicated. But thank you for that. Congratulations. $85,500 baby. Is that you're saying that's your prediction for the baby when the baby's born? Hopefully in August, we're not at 85,500. I would still be holding my Bitcoin. I wouldn't sell a single Satoshi if it was at 85,000 in August. I just very much expect it to be higher than that come August set time. Everything dumping. Not everything is dumping just yet, guys. It's just dipping. Again, as I just told you, corrections are normal. Let's go back to that 5-minute. I do think that would make us lose that 5-minute support. Yes, it is right there. So again, the likelihood of we are now probably heading down towards that target I just told you about is pretty likely. The bubble on the 15-minute chart we just looked at, it is a bubble, but it's not popping just yet. That absolutely could continue. So with us seeing that on the 5-minute chart, with us kind of getting an unofficial sell signal right there, I say that because, again, red reversal is pretty old, but the money flow is going negative. The oscillator is going negative. I do think, look at these targets down here. We're probably about to get down below 87, make our way back towards 86.1, and then we have a decision time when we get back there. What about the 1-minute chart here? Got some big volume coming on that sell-off. That is a confirmation right there of a downward move. very neutral 1 minute chart. In fact, we're one signal away from a buy signal there. We have the reversal. We have kind of negative, positive money flow, but that oscillator does not have a bullish momentum dot. So we are watching and waiting. But with that 5 minute that I'm watching, I think that coming down here to 86.1 is the next logical step here. Hit that liquidation, that very fat liquidation level at 86.1 makes a lot of sense. Price prediction IP, please. Very hard to do IP, but I will do the very best I can. Smay, once again, if I am in the middle of something and Trump comes up, interrupt me, my friend. Do not feel bad about taking the mic and getting back over to Trump. IP, how old is IP? That's Coinbase. Not been on that very long. Oh, that's going to tell me the full life. All right, it's not a very old coin. IP just came along on Thursday, February 13th. Very, very young coin. It's a good bullish looking coin, but when you don't have that many candles, look at what you have to work with on the oscillators. I really probably can't do analysis over. I always like to see 200 candles at least to do analysis. Do I even have enough to do 4-hour TA here? No, I can't even do 4-hour TA. Let's go to the 1 hour chart. That one I'm going to have more than enough, 540. Okay, so the 1 hour or the 2 hours really as high as you really could get and do adequate technical analysis. And even that's going to be hard because, again, the coin is still so new. What we are watching, we did have a little buy signal trigger back there, but we hit the target perfectly. Green reversal, bullish momentum, positive money flow. We hit the smart trail. We did reject, showing that even though the bulls got their nice buy, the bears are in full control. So I would say we need to get back above 510 to get that smart trail bullish again. And then after that, you really need to get back above 585 on IP to feel good about your bullish movements again and get out of that lower high, lower low zone. With some other things we're kind of watching here, we are hitting some support right now. We're back in the discount zone, hitting that 1 hour take profit level. You're kind of sitting in some bullish divergence technically. You guys can see these oscillators have been flowing up. At the same time, the price action bottoms have been flowing down. So that is a decent sign right there, but it doesn't mean we're out of the woods just yet. And like I said, IP when it comes to charts,
Tim,
it's going to be very hard to predict the bottom.
Breaking news. We have footage. Trump is not here yet, but we do have footage of the summit, guys. We are in the right place. So now I will let you know when Trump enters the floor.
So he's gonna do the okay. I didn't know if he was gonna do it with all of the other speakers or if he was gonna do it alone. I guess that answered the question. He's going to be joined with the panel. Very, very good stuff right there. Very interesting stuff. Cannot wait to see how that one happens. Going back to the IP, though, overall, it's hard to do analysis on this chart being so small. One thing I will say, we did just break a support level that I would have told you was decently solid. All right, so that's not the greatest right there. I guess I could kind of come up here and look at this. You had a little bit of like a falling wedge pattern going on, but we broke below that level here today. That's not a good sign. After breaking it, you also see a rejection on that line, a former support line. Turn that green. That's not a good sign either. So IP is probably not one that I'm looking to buy right this second. From a Fibonacci perspective, we're bouncing on the golden pocket, but with this negativity, maybe a better purchase for IP would be the platinum pocket around 430, 429 for that one. If that's not Tim, that's definitely Jim. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that, but thank you very much. The bull market is over, says MHZ Boxing. No, but I understand feeling that way. It's actually kind of funny as well is there's some influencers out there that have been historically bullish and then recently they've gone bearish. I wonder, because I have this internal thought from time to time. I have this internal thought that it's like, hey, whenever it seems like a lot of influencers are bullish and whenever people go bullish, you have the exact opposite. The markets keep cooling off. And the minute that influencers who are historically bullish turn bearish, the market bottom comes in and the price shoots back to the upside. So I've genuinely thought, like, maybe should I take a bullet for the team? Should I look like an idiot and just turn extremely bullish and be like, guys, we're heading down to $10,000. Bitcoin's over. The bull market's over. Would that cause the bull market bottom? Unfortunately, though, I just can't do it. I can't lie. I can't sit here and lie to people and say that I'm bearish. I might be wrong. The bear market might come. The bull market might be over. But my personal opinion and my personal probability reader, I still think there's a very high likelihood that the bottom either is already in or very close on this pullback, and that people are going to capitulate. They're going to leave the markets, and they're going to miss out on a great opportunity coming very, very soon. But that is what we have to deal with. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Trump is getting ready. He is getting ready, everybody. Which, by the way, I see you in here, Aaron Curry. I know your tricks. You're saying it's live. It's not live yet. Even Aaron, a good friend of mine, trying to get in on the trolling. Smay's going to keep us posted, though. Oh, look at that. You already set it up. We can look at the charts while it's live. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. Ryan Renier says, inverse Tim, you say? Yes, inverse Tim. Here we go. All right. They're clapping. It's a good sign. Already bounced back up. Didn't even hit our take profit levels down there. Already bounced back up. And nothing's happened. So let's see what happens here.
Well, thank you very much, everyone. Great honor to have you. I know you've all been working very hard and very successfully. And it's a wonderful place, the White House. I want to begin, is Johnny here from World Cup? I want to thank you for the selection. And they just had a presentation in the Oval Office, and I thought this was such a beautiful, this is the trophy. This is the big deal. The World Cup is the biggest sporting event, and Johnny Infantino is my friend for a long time, and during my first term, we worked out a deal to get the World Cup, and then because of lots of interesting things that happened, I ended up being president. When it showed up, I was always disappointed. I wasn't going to make it. I was going to serve 8 straight, and said we did it the hard way, but maybe the more important way. So I will be with you as president, Johnny. So maybe you could just say a few words and show how beautiful the World Cup trophy is. Thank you. Yeah, sure, please.
This is
Yeah,
the famous key.
that's a great key.
You want to open, President? Or
Well, you go ahead.
I go ahead. Okay.
I trust you.
So this is the new trophy of a new competition. It's called the FIFA Club World Cup. The 32 best clubs in the world.
Only Trump would take his crypto press conference to talk about FIFA instead. This makes sense. This makes sense.
In United States, opening game on the 14th of June.
Right.
Obviously, in Miami, final on the 13th of July this year in New York, New Jersey. But it's not that. The trophy is special because it's a key. And because, as you can see, if I manage to do that,
You got it.
What is happening right now? Why are we talking about the FIFA trophy?
It turns
It's
all
not-
cool. It's got Bitcoin in it. Watch.
this is a trophy. It is a trophy
That would be cool if
which,
there was Bitcoin.
represents, and that's why I think it's interesting to show this trophy exactly in this forum, because it represents the past, but it's also projected to the future. There is no other sports trophy which looks like that. It has engraved. the
Tim, this
history
is
of
what
the
everyone
game,
gets for yelling at us that
football,
he was
football,
live. This is what you guys get. You get a display of a new FIFA trophy.
Stadiums, beautiful stadiums in 11 cities in the United States of America where this competition will take place. So at the same time, past, present, and projected to the future. And if I may, President, say another 2 words, and then I let you work. I'd like to congratulate the President and the administration for not only for the World Cup, the Club World Cup.
This is like you're having a very important business meeting and a door-to-door salesman came by that he wants to present you his really cool
If I may
spray for cleaner.
add something.
You know, but it is a cool
I'm not
trophy.
An expert.
It's got great
though,
features.
but
It spins.
FIFA, as you know, is a brand which is globally known, a very strong brand. The soccer economy in the world is worth around 270 billion a year. 70% of that, Mr. President, is in Europe. So imagine the potential that there is around the world only in.
Is this an AI
soccer
fake, Smay? Did you find a fake stream about FIFA?
Is very, very
Well, just you wait. It's going to get to a point where the QR code pops up and says, buy Smay coin.
To do it from here, from America, and to conquer the 5 billion soccer fans in the world. So if there is anyone here who is interested to team up with FIFA, here we are, together with the United States of America.
Oh, he's looking for a crypto
we'll
sponsor.
conquer
That's what he's
the world
doing.
of soccer
This is a wise
with,
guy. He's
FIFA
smart.
coin. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That coin, excellent. That coin may be worth more than FIFA in the end. It could be quite a coin, actually. Huh? Anyway, thank you, Johnny. Great job. I just thought you should see this trophy because it's really, it's the biggest sporting event in the world, and we have it here. And we appreciate being selected. Thank you very much, John. You do a fantastic job. And welcome to the first ever White House Digital Assets Summit. I know that many of you have been fighting for years for this, and it's an honor to be with you at the White House. I want to thank the White House AI and crypto czar David Sachs, Treasury Secretary. This is David right here, in case you don't know. You know David. And the man who's doing a great job as Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent, who's right here. Scott, thank you very much. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, wherever you may be, Howard. Hi, Howard. He's doing some interesting work right now with all that's going on. He's right in the middle of it and doing a great job. Thank you. SBA Administrator Kelly Loeffler. And thank you. SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce. Thank you, Hester. Acting CFTC Chairman Caroline Pham. House Majority Whip Tom Emmer. Well, hello, Tom. Representative Brian Stile. Thank you. Brian, thank you very much. Digital Assets Council Director Bo Hines. Good, Bo. Great job. And many other distinguished guests. We have a lot of very distinguished people around the table. Some of them will be speaking. I want to thank Marco Rubio also, who's right over there. And we have tremendous people very interested in this subject. And last year I promised to make America the Bitcoin superpower of the world and the crypto capital of the planet. And we're taking historic action to deliver on that promise, as you know, around the table. Yesterday I signed an executive order officially creating our strategic Bitcoin reserve. And this will be a virtual Fort Knox for digital gold to be housed within the United States Treasury. That's a big thing, Scott. The federal government is already among the largest holders of Bitcoin, as you know. Really one of the largest holders in the world, with as many as 200,000 Bitcoin obtained via civil law and various other forms of law, and including enforcement actions. These existing holdings will form the foundation of the new reserve. Unfortunately, in recent years, the U.S. government has foolishly sold tens of thousands of additional Bitcoin that were worth billions and billions of dollars had they not sold them, but they did sell them, mostly during the Biden administration. Not a good thing to have done. From this day on, America will follow the rule that every Bitcoin knows very well: never sell your Bitcoin. That's a little phrase that they have. I don't know if that's right or not. Who the hell knows?
Why is that getting applause?
Who knows? Who knows? But so far, it's been right. And well, let's keep it that way. The Treasury and Commerce Departments will also explore new pathways to accumulate additional Bitcoin holdings for the reserve, provided it's done at no cost to the taxpayers. We don't want any cost to the taxpayers. In addition, my order directs federal agencies to conduct an inventory of all crypto assets currently held by the U.S. government and determine how they can be transferred easily to the Treasury. Non-Bitcoin digital assets will be held in a new U.S. digital asset stockpile where they will be managed properly. My administration also is working to end the federal bureaucracy's war on crypto, which was really going on pretty wildly during Biden until the election came about. About 5 months before the election, he became a big fan because he heard how many people were in favor of it and how many people love it and respect it. But I guess it didn't work out too well for him. People understood what was going on and paved the way for groundbreaking innovations in institutional finance. Under the Bitcoin administration, regulators strong-armed banks. I mean, they really did. They strong-armed banks into closing the accounts of crypto businesses and entrepreneurs, effectively blocking some money transfers to and from exchanges, and they weaponized government against the entire industry. But I know that feeling also. Maybe better than you do. All of that will soon be over, and we are ending Operation Choke Point 2.0. You know, some people really suffered. It was ridiculous what they were doing, but in the end, they came around, but they came around for the wrong reasons. They came around only because they wanted votes, and they saw that tens of millions of people were against them because of what they were doing. I also want to express my strong support for the efforts of lawmakers in Congress as they work on bills to provide regulatory certainty for dollar-backed stablecoins and the digital assets market. They're working very hard on that. This is a tremendous opportunity for economic growth and innovation in our financial sector, and will really go a long way. I think it's going to be a tremendous, we feel like pioneers in a way, tremendous method of growth, and things are very much tied, and we want to keep it that way, the U.S. dollar. Long into the future, we're going to keep it that way. I hope lawmakers will send that legislation to my desk before August recess if they can. And they're very much working with you, and you know a lot of them, and a lot of them were committed right from the very beginning. So I just want to congratulate you all for being at the White House today, and a man who knows more about Bitcoin and AI and just about everything else than anybody, David Saxon. I'd like to have you say a few words, David.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're all here today because of your leadership, your vision, and your generosity, and I really want to thank you for that. We're also here because of your desire to make America great and to introduce a golden age in America, including for digital assets. And we're here because of your love of innovators, or as you might say, high IQ people. We know you love high IQ people. And we have about 30 of them here in the room today. These are the top people in the digital asset industry. And one other thing that I think that you love is legal fairness. This is an industry that was subjected to prosecution and persecution for the last 4 years, horrible lawfare, and nobody knows what that feels like better than you do. So we really appreciate the fact that you understand legal fairness and that you're always willing to fight for the right thing, for legal fairness. You never back down. You stand defiant, even in the face of an assassin's bullet. It's an inspiration to everyone in this room, I think. So it's an honor.
You're also the 86-1 level. That's going to be important here.
So I just want to say it's an honor to work for you. It's an honor to work for a president who works every day to get so much done on behalf of the American people. Your administration is moving at tech speed. It's really amazing. It's actually faster than any startup that I've been part of. Is that your administration moves even faster. So I just want to say thank you for having me be a part of it. I've enjoyed every minute of it. I love working for you, and thank you again for this opportunity.
Thank you, David. Very much appreciate it.
And now I just want to pass the ball to Secretary Besson.
Scott?
David, so today, when President Trump has signed the executive order to establish the strategic Bitcoin reserve and stockpile, we're going to position the United States as a leader among nations in the digital asset strategy. It's important for the United States to recognize this fact and get ahead of the other nations in the digital age. We applaud the President's direction to use the digital assets already in possession of the nation, and we are going to establish this Bitcoin reserve. We will use this authority to augment the assets side of the United States balance sheet. As I've said many times, President Trump is creating assets for the American people, while most past presidents have created debt. And a large part of this asset program can be in digital assets. We are going to end the regulatory weaponization against digital assets. The Biden administration's actions did nothing other than punish innovators, and that all of you have made it here today is really a testament to your fortitude. Much of Treasury's responsibility in this order relates to the tax code and determinations around risk weightings, and I'm here to assure you that we are going to work with the Controller of the Currency, the IRS, and we're going to rescind and amend all applicable previous guidance. And we are going to put a lot of thought into the stablecoin regime, and as President Trump has directed, we are going to keep the U.S. the dominant reserve currency in the world, and we will use stablecoins to do that. Thank you.
Technology is at the foundation of the Trump presidency. He understands technology, he embraces technology, and he's going to use technology to drive America forward. The blockchain and Bitcoin technology are a key part of that thinking, and embracing that, and here today shows how much a leader the Trump administration and our president is. He understands it, he embraces it. As you said, you're a pioneer in this place, and this is where we're going. We're using the blockchain, we're using Bitcoin, we're going to use digital assets to pound forward, and Donald Trump is leading the way. Can't be more proud of you today.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Howard. Kelly, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is truly a historic day, and as a crypto founder, I couldn't be more proud to be part of your administration. You're moving at the speed of tech for sure, and I will just say it's a great day to have the war on not just crypto, but the war on innovation done. And under your administration, we are truly going to enter into the golden age. And I'll just say, as the administrator of the SBA, small business is a tremendous network that crypto can be deployed against, and so the SBA is open to crypto. So I look forward to working with all of the leaders in this room to advance your efforts here. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you very much. Tom, please.
Well, Mr. President, I want to say thank you. I want to thank you for the amazing team that you put together. I want to thank you for David. I mean, this kind of a meeting, no one in this room could have envisioned this just a couple years ago. You are the one that has the vision. You're the one that said we are going to do 21st century finance right here in the United States of America. I've been doing this for 9 years. It is amazing how far we've come, and that's a credit to you, Mr. President, and your leadership, and God bless you for doing this, because it's going to make a huge difference with everything else you're doing. And by the way, Americans love it. They're going crazy. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Go ahead, please.
Does anyone want to say a couple of words? Cameron or Tyler, do you want to?
You're very shy in front of the
Actually,
camera.
Cameron, I think you said something earlier that I thought was really profound. You said that a year ago, you thought it would be more likely that you'd end up in jail than at the White House. Not to put you on the spot, because you didn't do anything wrong, but that was the environment a year ago. But do you guys want to say something? Either one of you.
Sure, that was actually Tyler who said that. but it's
Sorry, I still get mixed up.
But yeah, we never thought that we'd get attacked the way we did in our backyard after trying to do the right thing for so many years and always trying to raise the bar with respect to regulations. So it's truly wonderful to see how things have changed and how the pendulum has swung back in the way that it has. And we've always felt that the U.S. should lead in Bitcoin and crypto, and it's ours to sort of lead and win. And it's just wonderful what President Trump has been doing with this, and we look forward to working together. And thanks for inviting us, David, and setting this up.
Thank you. Thank you both. Please.
I was just going to say thank you, Mr. President. Cameron takes credit for a lot of my things I say, so it's not the first time. But the U.S. won the internet, and the U.S. should win crypto. So thank you for your leadership on this.
Thank you both very much. High IQ individuals around this table. That's what I always say. We need high IQ. So thank you very much. Would anybody like to say anything? Please.
I just want to express my deep gratitude for the seriousness with which you're approaching our industry and how you're actually helping guide it in the right direction. I work with many central banks in other countries, and when I was working there, I was wondering why I, as an American citizen, can't help the United States financial system reach this higher level that the world is on course towards generally. And so I'm very grateful that finally there's been a new level of kind of common sense and adoption of these ideas. Me and the other people in this room do believe that the crypto, blockchain, Web3 infrastructure is the next iteration of the financial system. And I think that the US should have its leadership position continue in that new financial system. And I'm very, very happy to see people like David Sachs, Secretary Best, and Secretary Lutnick taking this very seriously with their time, and very grateful them too. So I'm just overjoyed to see this, and I think it is a big part of how the U.S. can continue its role in the global financial system. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I thought it was very important that we stay in the front of this one. This is a big one. And as you know, China is pushing forward and very strongly as usual. But we're way in the lead, as we are in AI and other things, and we want to stay there. So I thought this was very important, and we have some brilliant people sitting around this table. And it's an honor to have you involved, but we want to stay at the forefront of everything. And this is a very important day in your lives. I know you worked, some of you, very long before people really understood what was happening. And so I congratulate you, but this is a big day. Being in the White House is a big deal, and you have great support. Thank you all very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, please. Thank you very much. Thank you, media. Thank you. Please.
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
Ooh, they cut that off abruptly.
Wow.
That was weird.
Listen, there's a lot of expectations out there about the lack of what they would say, right? I was on team. I think this will end up being a nothing burger in terms of they don't even announce anything new. The fact that they didn't even talk about any of the big announcements that have happened this week, that part surprises me, right? We did just cut down. Go back to my chart here. I know my internet's been going in and out, everybody, so I apologize. There were times the chart was going out. Luckily, Smay was good. We hit that liquidation level, that big liquidation at 86.1. There is some new. People have already bought the dip because there's already some new liquidations coming in down at 85.1 that it looks like we are chasing. I promise you people are going to feel pessimistic about what happened there. And I understandably, I know why. What you do need to understand, though, about the charts is you still have a very long way to go before I would come out and say it's time to run for the hills and the bear market is here, right? That chaos happening, nothing happened right there. I know that there's some talk about later tonight. There'll be more announcements about what will come out. But what we did just do right there, we came down. Remember, I told you guys a retracement back down towards this green line, taking out those high liquidation levels. That would make a lot of sense. And that's sure enough exactly what happened. Let's take a look at some other liquidations that could be on. If we keep dropping, what would make sense? We just took out a lot right there. It's a big stack down here at 84.4. That would be the next logical target if we lose this green line. Let's take a look. Again, everything happened so fast there towards the end. Is anything giving us some sell signals that have not been hit? Again, a 10-minute sell signal, guess what? We're already sitting in the green support band. So it's kind of done what it wants to do. Again, it could get overextended, but I wouldn't worry about it too much deeper. The 15-minute chart hitting its take profit and green support levels with its sell signal. Don't have to worry about that. 30-minute chart, here's where you start to ask the question, could we go deeper, right? Could it go a little bit deeper here and go a little lower? That's where we're going to start asking the question. There's nothing crazy about this chart, right? You did have a sell signal, red reversal, bearish momentum, negative money flow there. But what happened was that came way back up here this morning when we were above 90K. So we've already hit the smart show there. We've gone below those levels. It does look like we're getting a little bit of a fight like I thought we would in this area, but we're very far away from making any final decision here. Heavy volume coming in. Again, I'm just kind of addressing these charts as we're seeing what's happening here. That heavy volume that just came in with, at the moment on the 5-minute candle, is a long lower wick. That's a positive sign, right? Negative pressure definitely has been coming, but that high volume mixed with a candle with a very long lower wick does say, hey, we just hit our spot where the selling has met the buying. A lot of people lined up to buy right here, right in that liquidation, right here around this support level. Can it hold is the question. With that said, this still doesn't cancel out our long-term bullish indicators that we're seeing here. And the buy signals coming in on the day chart still are intact, where we have that green reversal, bullish momentum, positive money flow. We're still on these shorter time frames putting in higher lows. If I can get back here and get it to straighten out. There we go. Still putting in these higher lows. So I'm very far from freaking out, but I have to admit, not going to sugarcoat it, what we just witnessed was extremely disappointing, really silly. I mean, why the heck was a FIFA presentation the beginning of the meeting? Smay, let's go off the chart here for a second. Actually, no, you know what? Leave it on the chart because we don't watch to see if this goes. Why the heck was FIFA presentation the beginning of it? I have no idea what happened there. We look like we're bouncing here, but it again, I'm going to call it as I see it. I believe that Trump has done a lot of great things. I think he's going to be great for Bitcoin in the future. This whole meeting came across like let's just thank Donald Trump that we're allowed in the room is the purpose of this meeting. Absolute nothing burger. Got us to accomplish that little sell-off that I told you guys before we were live. I thought we were going to come down and fill those liquidations. There's a chance we hit that green line. Just the way it happened was so bizarre and peculiar. Here's the last thing I'll say about it, though, and then we'll go off the chart here in a second, Smay, and I want to hear your thoughts. And we might be wrapping up the stream very soon. Maybe read some chat here. The fact that they didn't say anything isn't the end of the world, because it could be that's just the first time Trump's walking into that room and they're about to really get in some nitty-gritty conversations. I mean, one of the discussions we know is on the table that they said nothing about. They didn't let Michael Saylor speak. They didn't let the other people speak. We know that one of the conversations was, how do we discuss buying more Bitcoin to add into this strategic reserve? Nothing was said in that press conference. That was a waste of time press conference. And you know what? I would like to say, oh, we'll never do this again. You never know when press conferences are going to be useful or not useful. So we'll continue to stream them. You guys will continue to watch them. That's just going to happen, but we're not going to beat around the bush and try to make up something out of nothing. That meeting was a waste of how long we spent. 10 minutes, 15 minutes in that press conference. That was a waste of time. It accomplished absolutely nothing, which makes me think, and bear with me here, because good news has been bad and bad news somehow has been good. That comes across to me like bad news. Could this end up sending Bitcoin price back up towards 90K as retail, the average everyday person, walks away from that meeting bearish, thinking it's stupid, thinking it's not anything, and whales secretly are buying up those dips? I saw someone while we were live saying if you looked at order blocks and order books, it looked like whales were selling. Were they pushing it down so they could get that better buy price? That's what I think is very interesting to kind of pontificate on here. But Smay, really quickly, your T-shroom today, put on your crypto thinking glass. There you go. You have them right there. Mm-hmm. And your hat. How did you view that press conference? What do you think about it?
Well, I think it was a lot of it was just formality. I think they're going to get into the nitty gritty later on without the media. I think there's just I think where things are at right now is that there's just a lot to be discussed. There's a lot of hope for what they want to get accomplished. There's just also a lot of factors that need to move in order for them to accomplish stuff. So I think I don't think we should really be expecting any kind of big, crazy announcements right away. I think this is like the formalities of like, hey, this is all the people involved. This is the people that are going to be sharing the ideas, and we're going to start figuring out what that looks like. And this is like the first of many sessions where they're going to kind of put together a foolproof strategy to put into action. So I think like we're still in the early days before we're going to see a lot of big market-moving news happen. But one thing I noticed, I said it to you, Tim, I think we would need to probably like go back and re-listen to it. One thing I heard Trump mention, and chat, correct me if I'm wrong, I might have misheard this, but he was talking about like getting the assets and stuff ready to be put into the Treasury, talking about the strategic reserve, and then he mentioned non-Bitcoin assets, and then that they would be managed in the stockpile. So that was very interesting verbiage. I don't know why he specifically said non-Bitcoin assets.
I didn't hear it, but again, so two times while that was happening, my internet cut out. So it might have happened when my internet cut out. So chat's going to have to tell me that. It doesn't make sense from the tweet that went out Sunday morning, though. The tweet Sunday morning, and I can try to find it so we can make sure I'm not just blowing this out of proportion. But don't share my screen yet, but I retweeted it. I want to go back to it. It's going to take me a little second. But I'm pretty sure he didn't use stockpile. He used strategic reserve when discussing the actual coin. So let's come back here. Let's find out what exactly happened here. There we go. All right, going to share my screen here. This is the screenshot from Sunday morning at 9:24 a.m. A U.S. crypto reserve will elevate this critical industry after years of corrupt attacks by the Biden administration. Yada, yada, yada. What you need to know is working group to move forward on a crypto strategic reserve. That includes XRP, Solana, and Cardano. And of course, later on, he said, hey, of course, I meant Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. And he also hinted at more coins being added to that list. Now, here's the thing. Go off my screen. I do see some very good comments in chat. And I want to make sure you guys understand. I agree with these takes. Some of the people in here saying, guys, this was simply the beginning of the meeting. Don't try to read too far into it. I agree with this 100%. Where I am sitting in the middle here, though, saying this meeting was a disappointment, is they said nothing about what was going to be discussed, what could happen. And again, I hear all this and I'm thinking, there's a part of me that almost thinks, with such a disappointing meeting, could that actually end up being bullish the rest of the day? But let's not walk away from this meeting saying that meeting was some sort of glaring success. It was a fat nothing burger, another tease of the people, whether they meant for it to be that way or not. It literally was just an invitation to say, hey guys, we're about to have a meeting. Let's hear a couple people say something really nice about Trump. Okay? That was the meeting. No, let me correct. Hey guys, the FIFA World Cup is coming to the United States was about half the meeting. And then the rest of it was, hey, I really like Trump. Trump, thank you for inviting me here. Which is fine. You can like Trump. I like Trump. I just don't want to sit in a meeting where 10 of us just talk about how much we like Trump, right? I would like to, at a crypto meeting, a crypto summit, talk about what we're going to have a conversation here today and really accomplish something. Now, like I said, right, that is the retail thinking. I don't think I'm in a minority. I think a lot of people are saying that same boat as I am, that was disappointing, that was a nothing burger, that was terrible. It was a great excuse to pull back and remove that liquidity. But right now, as I go back to my chart, again, I don't like dumping and pumping on such a small time frame. We're not really doing either, but we definitely now have the appearance on these shorter time frames of what looks like a bullish local bottom. And I say local bottom here, I mean literally locals in like within this hour. Like this was a pullback bottom for right now. Can we get back up higher? Can we get back up above $89,000? This is going to what we're going to have to see the rest of the evening. Retail's probably not buying it after what we just saw, but was that the perfect excuse to cause retail not to want to buy this dip? And now the whales and institutions get to buy to their heart's content, right? That's what we have to kind of wonder about right now. Now, something that's very interesting, the markets are now closed, right? I guess, how is this going to work with now that the NASDAQ is open? But that's not going to affect I don't think that affects right now the IBIT and every other ETF that's going. Let's watch how this weekend unfolds. This is the last show. This is Friday, the last show of the week. But watch this be a great excuse for retail to capitulate on thinking there's an absolute nothing burger. And then in reality, whether they actually come up with something solid or not, the buying happens behind closed doors. The big boys know what's going on. The little boys don't know what's going on. All I'm telling you, I'm not saying buy this. I'm not saying become a conspiracy theorist with me and try to think about this too much and then I'll go in 100x long from here on out that we're going to go back over 100K tonight. What I would say is keep your strategy the same that has been. I don't think today's meeting should change your strategy whatsoever. What is my strategy? My strategy is to hold, to buy every dip that I can when I get some new dry powder. I'm going to continue to trade these markets. Right now, I'm not necessarily seeing a glaring buy signal, but with what I'm seeing on the candles, I'm not going to be surprised to start seeing buy signals start to come in on the 1 minute, 5 minutes, so on and so forth. The 1 minute right now got our green reversal. We have bullish momentum. We had bullish divergence. That money flow is still negative, but that money flow turns up. All of a sudden, we're looking at making a move back up above 87,000. Then guess what? A 1 minute buy signal flows into a 5 minute buy signal. Where guess what? Right now, while we don't necessarily have the reversal of the bullish momentum, we do have positive money flow. Do we get a buy signal on there? And does it start to trickle up and up and up all the way to meet what, again, these short time frames people are going to ignore, but daily and 2 daily buy signals coming in on Bitcoin, these still mean things. Remember I told you earlier, a lot of times, even when you get these longer term bullish moves, you have a little bit of a manipulated pullback to the downside. Is what we just witnessed, that little pullback that was needed, that we've known about these buy signals now for a couple of days, but we wanted to bring everything back so that we could regroup and then start our move to the upside back up towards $100,000. That is what my gut is saying is happening right now. I do believe the American people get duped at every single turn. Good news comes out, prices plummet. Bad news comes out, prices pump. You know what that's called? It's called manipulation. You can cry about it or you can learn about it. I prefer to learn about it. And when you learn about it, it changes the way you invest. It changes the way you trade. It's just one more way to make money, because at the end of the day, it's not about does everything make sense to you or not? It's about making money. It's about changing your life for the future. And these long-term perspectives on Bitcoin and crypto are still overwhelmingly bullish. It's just about reading through the BS and the manipulation. I think we just saw another trick on that again. With that said, we are probably going to wrap out the show here today. If you enjoyed our takes on what happened, you might not have enjoyed what happened, but if you enjoyed being with the bros, make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe. If something massive happens, I am going to be doing emergency either lives or videos during the weekend. I know tonight around 8 or 9 p.m., there should be more information about what is discussed in this meeting. If something is absolutely monumental, or if Bitcoin explodes either up to 100,000 or maybe it crashes below 80,000 and starts heading down towards 70,000, I will make sure to keep you guys up to date. But one of the best ways you could do that right now is make sure you're joining our free Discord. Yes, that's right, free. We have paid membership options. We have sponsors and everything else, but I want you guys involved in knowing what is happening. And to do that, joining our free Discord, there's thousands of other people just like you who want to make money and change their families' lives forever. Go and check that out right now. By the way, Friday Fundamentals, if you guys want another free thing in Discord, Friday Fundamentals, Crux will be going live here in just a couple of minutes to answer any and all of your questions about the fundamental projects happening in crypto. This is not the time to tune out. This is the time to lock in and do your research. All of that can be done in our free Discord, so go check it out right now. With that said, guys, love you. We'll see you, if not before, Monday, same time, same place. You guys have a fantastic weekend. Adios.